Welcome to Shit Show with Orange Team. Let's go.
I'd start it.
It started. Yes, that was the
All
intro.
right.
Oh my god, this is scuffed.
Welcome. All right, so we are going to go over, for lack of a better term, corner comp. That's what I'm going to start calling it. Just kidding, I'm not. But so we need to start playing this comp correctly. I'm going to explain to you how and why. Okay. So we're going to start with the concept of defender's advantage. Okay. So let's take a point like Kings Row. Okay, you got the point, right? You got this is hotel right here. This is the high ground in the back, and their spawn is right here. So defender's advantage means that you know where they have to go. You know that they have to get from here to here somehow. You know, either they go here, the statues are here, they could go around the statue, they could go way around up through the high ground and drop down. There's a lot of ways they can do, but they have to touch that point. And you know that they have to touch that point. So the point of this comp is to find corners that take advantage of the defender's advantage and hold them aggressively. So, for example, Eichenwald, right? So Eichenwald, you have that big... You don't own a layer? Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Eichenwald, you have this big bridge in the middle, right? Actually, I'm going to erase that. So you've got the bridge, and it kind of turns like this. And then you have these two entranceways, right? You know that they have to get out of these entranceways and touch the cardinals. So you block, so you use this wall right here, and you hold this corner, one of these two corners, and you wait for them to come into you because you know that they have to get there, so you block through May walls, I-field, that kind of stuff, and you block their way of getting in, that kind of stuff. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to start abusing these corners and abusing immunity field, because you can immunity field on these corners and then just not take any damage. And if they do try to push and kill the I-field, then you can May wall them and kill them. Which is the reason why we are going to start like hard running corners and not running anything else. So we're going to be also running into a lot of mirror matchups, and mirror matchups have a lot of shield break. So we're going to have to also, in the middle of all of this, holding corners and stuff, we're going to have to rotate shields correctly. I have a screenshot here of is there like a text box or something, or am I gonna have to write this all out? Okay, whatever. So what's gonna happen is let's take, what's a really good corner? We'll go on Kings Row again. So right after first point, there's an archway. Right after, this is the point, and the pale goes through, and there's an archway right here. That goes, and there's the high ground window right here. And then the pale moves through this, and here's the bookstore right here. So this is a really good corner to hold right here. Because they have to round to this corner, and they either have to push their back line, either the back line stays back here, or they push themselves against this corner right here. And what they're going to do is they're going to try to break your shields so that they can get there without you dealing damage to them. And so we are going to have to break their shields better. So how we're going to do that is we are going to first use Orisa Shield number 1. Okay. And then we use Orisa Shield number 2. Okay.
Boobies.
And then, thank you. And then, let me make it smaller here.
Yeah, come on, you're making me self-conscious.
Orisa Shield number 2.
He was drawing his boobies.
Yeah, these are mine.
Still
and then you
bigger
get
than mine.
Sigma Shield. And then Sigma Grasp. And then Orisa Shield number 3, hopefully. And then by the time that 4 shields and a grasp are broken, they're either going to be on top of you or they're going to be dead.
So
you
where's
don't
my
really
fortify
need-
come in?
Your fortify comes in right here.
Whenever I know.
Your fortify
Fortify.
comes in either right here before your shield comes back up, or right here after your shield goes down.
Where's the after here? I'm only seeing one arrow. Is there more of a layer?
Are you
that I'm
not seeing?
2.
I see.
Are you not seeing 2 arrows?
One on either
I
side
see.
of the last Orisa shield.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing a second one.
I mean, the one looks kind of scuffed, but
This right here.
Yeah, I don't see an arrow. Like it ends at the end of Orissa's shield. Is as far as I see.
are you
Well,
zoomed
that's
in?
stupid.
I don't know how to zoom out. Nor do I know.
There's a little zoom button on
Oh,
the
there it
bottom
is.
left.
I never zoomed in.
I actually
Now I
probably
got it
fuck
all.
these too.
Alright,
Oh.
that helped it a little bit.
Right click, zoom out. Oh, I zoomed out too much. Oh, fuck. How do I recenter this?
I don't know how to center it. Like, that's the weird part. I zoomed out and now it's all wonky.
I know, now I was trying to fuck with it, now I fucked it.
Oh my gosh, this is scuffed. It was
You're
going
scuffed.
so well.
It was. Hang on. We're just gonna refresh
You
it.
brought in something new.
Just refresh. Oh no, it's still scuffed. I can do this. I can do this.
Whatever. At least I can see the whole thing. That's all that matters.
Oh wait, I have an idea.
But if I go to 100%, I can't see the whole thing, which is weird. I gotta go to 50% to see the whole map.
Oh, select. Nope. You made me ruin everything. Oh, view? Full screen. Oh no, now it's just fucked in full screen. Restore view. Fit on screen. Ha! Fit on
Done.
screen.
Did you guys get it?
I think so.
Yeah, we got it.
Great. Okay. So you fortify either here or here. So either before the 3rd shield comes up or after the 3rd shield goes down and they're not quite to you yet, that's when you fortify. Does that make sense? Hello?
What? Oh. Oh, twigs.
Did I cut out or something, Twigs?
Yeah. So if I have to fortify sooner, i.e., May freezing or something like that, is that detrimental, or are we fine with the shield?
So the idea is, by the time if the May is freezing you, we can wall her off, because by the time that this is just before this shield rotation is before they get to us,
Okay.
right? So when they get to us, that's where we're gonna put down eye field. That's when we're going to wall them off as they get closer. And I'll explain that further. So we're gonna have to kind of get a feel for these 2 abilities, Wall and Lamp, which is why I wanted Shani and Leaf here, because it's going to get a little confusing.
Oh, yay.
So 3rd point, King's Row again, because it's the best point in the game.
Can you say it again? I wasn't listening because it was twig stuff.
Okay, you need to listen because we're gonna have to go over some stuff.
That's it.
That was
You
it.
should be
Wait, there's a
listening to-
test?
You should be listening to all the stuff.
Yes.
I mean, I am, but I'm also surfing the webs.
Get off your
You're
phone.
Well, never mind.
Let me try this
Zoomer.
again.
But I heard my name. Why was my name said?
To say that you need to
Because-
pay attention.
You need to pay attention.
Oh.
God
Well,
damn.
see? That would insinuate that I wasn't before. Alright,
Take,
I'm
take your
going
phone and throw it on your bed.
back underground.
No, you need to always
Oh.
be paying attention
Throw it on your bed.
to know when feeding is okay and not okay.
It's never okay.
All right. So King's Row 3rd point. This is the hole right here.
Love
Okay.
it.
Here's a wall. Here's another wall. Here's another wall. Okay. And here's another wall. Okay. So they have to round this corner, right? So before they get there, that's when we do our shield rotation, right? Because they're gonna start up here, and that's when we start a rotation. We Orisa shield again, we Sig shield, we Sig grasp, and by the time that all of that is done, they're probably either going to number 1 be dead, or number 1 be a little bit closer. They're gonna be about here, right? And this is when we eye field. Okay? We eye field when they get not quite past this corner, not quite to that point, but a little bit beforehand, like a few yards beforehand while they're pushing in.
So, like when they hit that opening where that small pack is.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So that's when we would eye field and then pop out and start doing stuff, because either number one, they have to retreat back down that same way that they just came, or number two, they push onto us, which is then when we use our May wall right here. Okay, Leaf. Good heavens, Leaf, are you hello? Are you there?
I think he's responding with a
I-
check mark.
Yeah, I'm flashing my check mark so that we know it's all good. And then
Oh,
if it's
okay,
bad,
okay,
I do this.
That's your check mark.
Oh
Okay,
my god,
gotcha.
you have words.
Yeah.
Use your big boy words.
No, I'm muted so I don't cause problems.
Oh my gosh. Anyway. So that's when we would Maywall, because the tanks are going to want to try to push up, especially if they're running like a Ryan Orisa. The Ryan's going to try to push up, or like a Ryan Zarya. And then that's when we would freeze him and punish him. Does that all make sense? All of it?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we want... Eyefield is just so unbelievably broken, and so is May. We want to use the Mac geometry to accentuate those imbalances.
So
Okay.
that's all it boils down to, is that we're just using Immortality Field aggressively around corners, which forces them to either sit there and die or push onto us, in which case we just wall them in half and kill them, like
Yes,
normal.
correct. Yes.
Cool.
But the problem is what we're doing right now is we're not, the whole team isn't back here, right? Which they should be, right? We should have, so ideally we would have, oh my gosh, these rays are so tiny. Ideally we should have this being Orisa right here. So Orisa and like Sigma probably like right here. Sigma can also be like over here doing his own thing if he really wants. That's up to Hog. And then we should have Bap and Zen also behind this same corner, and then the Mei pretty close to the tanks. And then Hanzo sort of jumping either high ground to high ground. Hi!
Hello. I was wondering who the fox was.
Got the sound settings wrong.
You missed out on some
So-
terrible Overwatch, my brag.
Just to, because before you were saying that I shouldn't be playing with the group and I should be playing up on high ground.
So that's entirely map dependent.
Okay.
I would love for you to be able to play up here. If Hanzo is up, he's going to kill you. If Hanzo's not up, you are welcome to play the high ground. That would be great.
Okay.
Fortunately, Hanzo is a character that exists and will one-shot you.
Yeah. I usually will play. Do I have a pen right now? Because I can still get the Immortality Field if I don't own a layer. God
However,
damn it.
that being said, this high ground right here, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That high ground there, you can play right there.
Okay.
That is an option that I have because you're with the team. You can see the enemy and you can see your team at the same time while kind of cutting off Hanzo's sight lines.
Alrighty.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yee. I can't
Is
see
this
a layer.
Dorado?
This is King's Row, third point.
Wait, this is King's Row? I thought
Okay.
this was Santa Maria, or fucking.
What?
Okay.
See,
Oh
I
my
all we
thought
gotta
it
do
was
is
the
open our
fucking-
ears.
Well, I told you I wasn't paying attention.
Oh my gosh.
We told you to pay attention.
That was after.
What?
I mean, we're doing practice stuff, so I feel like we should all be paying attention regardless. Then.
I agree.
Is over here the stairs area?
Yeah, this is the hole right here. This is that high ground.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
looking at it upside down. Perfect. I'm glad I asked.
All right.
You want a Hanzo
Back
playing
to-
up in this? Oh, back there. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, Hanzo can sort of play wherever he wants. He has two jobs. Number one, kill the enemy Hanzo, and number two, break Orisa's shield. That's it. If he gets those two things done without dying, I'm happy. He can do whatever he wants. He can position wherever he wants. I don't care. Everyone else, especially our Orisa and our Mei, need to be right next to each other the whole game. You are best friends, and you do not leave each other.
I told you we were best friends.
Because if somebody tries to push on Orisa, you need to be there to freeze them. If somebody does try to push on Orisa, you can wall them. Because they're going to have to get right next to her, past her shield.
So grab one of your glasses, a little nice rock ice. go
Take
to
a chill
town.
pill, huh?
Ah,
What if I get really excited and want to run up on them?
don't.
Don't. Yeah.
No, that's your answer.
What if I really, really want to?
Okay. Here, Leaf. If it's something you want to do, don't.
Alright, so I'm gonna go over it really quickly, but we're trying to use,
Perfect.
we're going over how to use I field more aggressively.
Cool.
We're gonna use it on corners and then Maywall as well.
Before it's nerfed next week, but cool.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't send this to Blue though, because we're trying to beat them in the tournament. You know. Come on.
Oh, am I? Should I be recording right this moment?
Not
I'm
it's all
recording.
Larry.
Shawnee's got it.
Okay, perfect.
You're gonna you should watch the beginning of this though. It's got a few tidbits of good information.
Sounds good.
Does that all make sense to everybody? Any burning questions? Any positioning questions?
Do I
Okay,
just
explain.
sit in the back?
Yes.
Cool.
You have an interesting job. You are the cart boy, as they say in this comp.
Carty boy.
I've become very accustomed to that role in past lives.
Yes, so that's your job. However, you can position pretty liberally. If you wanted to, you could sit back on this nice high ground. That's about it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Wait. Okay, so, just
as
to
long
double
as you
check,
know, yes.
defender spawn is like coming from this direction where
Yes.
the red is? Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
And the cart comes from down here.
Yeah, I'm with it now. Yeah, that is good position, actually. I like that.
But regardless, as long as, and this as well goes for Sean, you guys can position wherever you want as long as you know where Hanzo is. If you know where Hanzo is and you cut off a sight line, fine.
Works for me.
If he's dead, great. Position wherever you want. But he's the only character that you have to worry about and stuff. If that makes sense for both of you.
Yeah. Hanzo kill you, bad, sad. Cool.
Yes.
Indeed.
Down.
So really, we're
And-
just playing this exactly the same. We're just using cooldowns differently.
Yes, and we need
It
to hold
seems
corners
pretty bad.
harder. Because currently, what we're doing right now is we're holding like here. We're kind of holding this corner, but it's really hard to wall them up because they just meet us here,
Oh,
and
baby.
like half of them will walk around the wall, the other half will walk this way around the wall, and then we eye field over here, and it just dies. So we hold these corners harder so that we can use it, the map geometry, to our advantage. Yes.
Yes.
Smile.
Yeah, I've been doing that more.
Can I
Smile.
just add? So the one thing we're gonna have to watch out for is we're gonna have immortality field up, and we can be really aggro. But when it's down, we're
Yes.
gonna have to take a second to heal
Yes,
back up because you
yes,
will be
yes,
at
yes,
40 HP,
I.
and a breeze will
That's a
knock
good
you
point.
over.
So you guys are gonna have to memorize.
That's more HP
Hank
than I normally have, so I'll be good.
and maybe even Shawnee are gonna have to memorize the time that it's up, and also if somebody is on top of the field, like Hanzo, if somebody's killing it, and somebody sees it and needs to be called, like they're going to kill him I field or something like that,
Mhm.
or I field going down, something like that, so that we can readjust and come back and not die. That's a really good point. Thank you for pointing that out.
I got you.
Hopefully, we don't get to that point where the I field breaks and the fight's still happening. Hopefully, the fight will be over by that point.
Hopefully.
Oh yeah. One more thing. When we ult, right? So this all is neutral fight, right? This is no ults versus no ults, right? In a ult fight, we're gonna use that shield rotation to be aggressive. We're gonna throw an Ursa shield, push a Sigma shield, throw an Ursa shield, use ult, get an ult. Alright, so if I can make it. How do I make my eraser bigger? Anybody know?
Size on the right,
Sure.
I assume.
Eraser is a euphemism for
It's a rubber.
I think in light of recent comments by people in power at Blizzard, we should just hard run Genji Soldier.
Oh my god.
Boom. Solved. Meta
Dude.
solved. Thank you,
They-
Deb.
Since they have high win rates, it means you just need to run.
You're hilarious. So we're gonna hold the corner, and Hanzo's gonna scout with like Sonic, and he'll say, "Oh, okay, they're coming up here." So as they're coming down, we want to meet them before, so that we can get more fights. That kind of whole deal that we've done before. Yada 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 yada.
Jesus Christ.
So always, when we're pushing with double shield, use single shield first. And you walk forward with it. Once it's broken, that means that you're probably in a spot that you want to be in. So you put down the Orisa shield, you halt, you put down the ults, bam. What we don't want to do in this comp is wait around a corner to get ulted by the enemy team. We don't want to do that. So, neutral fight, this is perfect. That's exactly where we want to be. But once we have ults, we need to be more aggressive with them. You get the point? Okay, great. Unless the ults we have are like window bongo, then we want to hold the corner because we can put the window and the bongo behind the corner. So, us pushing is only for like Flux, Blizzard, Dragon. That kind of stuff. Actually, those are 3 exact ults. Flux, Blizzard, and Dragon. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. Now, we're going to go over the reverse of how to beat this if it's happening to us. Okay. If it is happening to us, it's pretty simple. We want to wall where they're at, so to break their sight lines, and then rotate around our own wall, and then set up. So hopefully we'll be able to gain our own defender's advantage, and I will give you an example of that. So I'm gonna make, oh gosh, this is gonna look horrible. Eichenwald, first point. Okay. And it kind of like splits into 2. Right? It goes onto the bridge right here. There's a building right here. Right? Bridge is right here. Everybody follow me? Hello?
Sorry, I'm still setting up computers.
Wait, what point is this?
Eichenwald, first point.
First
Okay.
point?
There's a building right here.
Oh!
This is the bridge.
Okay, so defenders are at the top and attacking at the
Defenders
bottom.
are right here.
Okay,
We're
got it.
attacking.
Got
Okay,
it.
cool. So, for example, if they are holding right here, this little small area, with the little door here, they're going to be trying to wall off us as we come through this doorway. So instead what we want to do is we want to wall them off, and then we walk point. And then when we're walking point, we can set up and make them come to us so that we then have defender's advantage because we know where they're coming from. And so we can then play the corners and sort of turn the tides on the fight and make us have an advantage. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
So, because we don't have a we don't have a Reaper anymore, so we don't really want to fight them head on. So usually we just want to have that advantage. Does that kind of make sense?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
What corner are you looking to play once we're on attack, taking a
Once-
defensive position?
That's wrong point.
Because we want to be on point so that we're capping it, but we want
That's
to have a
entirely
corner.
dependent on how far they get. So if we're talking about point here,
So just draw the clock tower, and I think
So-
that's the main one we're gonna work around. is my
yeah,
guess.
clock tower's right here. This is point right here. Payload's in the middle. This is the high ground right here. High ground right here.
Oh god.
That was disgusting.
Jesus Christ.
Blow
your nose.
I was muted, but you guys yelled at me.
So
You can't do that.
they're gonna be walking from over here. We're gonna be walking from over here. So if they get to this corner, right, then we're gonna hold this corner. If they aren't quite there and they're like right here, then we're gonna try to hold. Does that make sense?
So we're gonna have someone capping while we do all this.
Yes. Bap and Zen are gonna be pretty far in the back.
Okay.
Got it.
Does that all make sense from everyone?
Yep. I just wanted to make sure to find out where we're holding once we get it. Once we get that advantage.
So, and this, I can go into depth when we do our tournament games, but as far as like scrims and comp and all that stuff, you guys are just gonna have to find, and by guys I mean twigs, you're just gonna have to find a corner that accentuates all these things that we talked about, and because I can't give that to you every single time. Does that make sense?
No, that's fine. I just figured while we were here, it'd be a good time to
Yeah, of course,
figure it out. Because I mean, we want to cap at the same time, or do we want to just fight it out and then cap once it's over?
Yeah, I understand. But we want to sort of put a sense of urgency onto the enemy team by starting the cap, so that they can't just be like, oh, we're not doing it right. We don't have to do anything. if we start capping them, oh shoot, we need to get there now, and so it sort of, you know, it starts putting a timer on them. Whereas if we didn't, they wouldn't have to do anything. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot different playing without Lucio, which is why on these attacks I'm probably gonna put us on Lucio. Lucio Bap, just so that we can force these rotations better and hold these corners better. It's unfortunate not having Discord. Discord's really good.
Would I still be on BAP for that? Because
I think I'm still gonna put you on BAP because
Okay.
the other thing, we wouldn't ever swap that because that character's broken.
For now.
Take me to my next point. Thank you. Going over this comp. So this comp, it's good, and if you're incredible at it, you'll probably beat everything. But we're not incredible, and we're probably gonna get beat by things,
Big
namely
facts.
probably like a Fire Mercy, or a Doofus, something like that. So.
Yep.
All that being said, there are 3 characters that will never change this patch. Those characters are Rissa, May, and Baptiste. You keep those 3 characters constantly, no matter what. It doesn't matter what is happening with the enemy team. You keep those 3 characters. The other ones, good options. I trust you guys knowing those characters. Namely, like if we need to swap to McCree for the Pharah, if they're like hard running dive, we can swap like Brig, Roadhog even. Roadhog's okay. Usually we're gonna stick on Sigma, but we don't have to. It's an option to switch off. We can also swap to Ryan on maps like Village and King's Realm. And then there aren't really many other options for hitscan other than McCree and Reaper too, because I'll also swap Reaper if I have troubles with dive, but I doubt it because May exists. And I think that's it. Any burning questions?
Don't forget that secret map that we're gonna play ball on me.
What alt
No.
combos do we want to do aside obviously
Ah.
from big things with Hulk?
Yes. So, we're gonna have. So, in this meta, you have to worry about 2 things: trance and eye field. So usually, what I've been doing in my comm games, at least I haven't had time to scrim. But what we've been doing is that we're not pulling up in Nanoblade. Sorry. What we'll do is we'll halt dragons to force out eye field, and then we'll kill the eye field, and then sometimes we might go for blizzard or a flux or something like that. Sometimes we'll even halt dragons to force trance. Sometimes they'll trance it. But there aren't really that many ult combos per se. The only really good combos that you can really get is like Flux Dragon, Flux
Dragon?
Blizzard. Could be okay.
Dragon.
Dragon.
But like Window and like Bongo don't really go well with anything. They just kind of are good.
I've kind of just been using it, so I've kind of been either going in with it, either I'm going to start the fight off with this, or because I get it back relatively quick, or I just mid-fight will decide that we can win it, and I'm going to pop it.
Yeah, exactly.
I
It doesn't
use it
really
like
go well
Shatter.
with anything.
Yeah, I use it like Shatter, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. I know Shatter actually goes with things, but that's how I've always used Shatter, so...
Yeah, because it used to go with like Cole and Blossom and all that good stuff, but it doesn't really go well with anything anymore. So I think just using it to gain advantage and to force stuff out of them, I think is going to be our best. Does that make sense from everybody? Any other burning questions that we have? Aside from the one fact, please, if you have an ultimate ability, ask Twigs for the love if he has Hulk.
Thank you, I was going to bring it up.
Every single time that you have an
Twigs,
ultimate ability,
Can you pull trance for me?
Yeah.
Just
You
pull
got
all
it.
of us
You got
together
it,
so we're
buddy.
all in trance.
Leave it to Ice to find that one stipulation. I was like, wait, what am I going to transfer? What am I going to hold for him?
Should we mostly using transfer?
No, like even
Flux.
window.
Flux.
Even window, because like I can halt them in front of our window, and we can at least get rid of the shield.
Everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have to transflux. Transing Blizzard doesn't do anything. if we don't have Ifield and they're pushing hard, we might be able to get away with the trance and then saving Ifield for the flux. That's of course extremely situational. I trust you guys to figure that out. Both of you, both my supports are diamonds, so I trust you guys will be able to learn that. Figure it out.
Yes, trance, the hardest ulti to use.
If there was any, if there was anything I was good at on Zenyatta, it was when to trance.
It's when the trance. Yep.
Everybody's
God.
gonna die, hit trance. Easy.
I fucking nailed it. Like EMP,
Ow.
you ain't gonna find me. Trance.
It's funny. Neo was talking about the other day because he was going over old VODs.
Oh yeah, what did he say? I'm
He
curious.
said the one thing that you were really good at was trancing.
Oh my god.
Well, because I feel like I've always had to play good positioning, and I know I've gotten lazy with it with Ice and Shawnee because I'm just like, they'll keep me up. Lo and behold, that's not always been the case, but that's my fault.
Oh, we're still recording.
We're still
right.
recording.
So,
I'm having a
Needs a
stroke
thrower.
here.
Needs a fucking thrower.
What?
so
Just in case he ends up finding the bot.
Oh my god, you guys are
So-
terrible.
after all of this, does anybody have any more burning questions? Shoot them
All
down.
of them. No, I'm kidding. It's break shields.
About abilities, your job,
I break shields.
your ultimate. Yes, you break shield.
Discord Orisa.
Discord, the person that gets walled. They're probably gonna die anyway, but
Just to be sure.
just to check. Leif, do you have any burning questions about your ability to play Mei?
Oh my god.
If you do have questions, I'm always willing.
Nah, I think I'm good. It's basically the same, just a little more aggressive.
Exactly. Like we've been too reactive, and being reactive is bad. Except in the case of defensive ults, because that's what they're for. They're
Well,
to be
like-
reactive.
They're defensive.
They're defensive.
So-
That's what their point. That's the point of them is.
I do
Yes.
have a question.
What's up?
So like, if we have a corner, hang on. Okay, if we're playing around a corner like so, and I'm right here, we throw. Actually, say that's field, and I'm right here. Right,
Yep.
they're right. We're sitting there shooting at them, and their Ryan comes up here, and I wall here, and field goes to here. Am I allowed to leave field to freeze him?
Yeah, because there's nobody else dealing damage. Because they're all walled. So you'd be fine to then go ahead and go
They can
aggressive.
walk around here,
I would say, Leaf,
and
I
they're gonna
have
be
been-
close.
I have been playing Mei recently, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would say is the entire time you're holding left click, you just watch your health bar. That's what I've been doing. And the second that it gets even close to low, you just block, and then you trust your team to shield you out of the situation. Does that make sense? Because you don't have to. You kind of just circle around Ryan and hold left click, and he's gonna get frozen. Like, there's nothing he can really do about it. And it's really depressing to watch, but he's just gonna die. So
I feel like most of the time I get in trouble, it's because I push up too far. Like, my wall's not close enough, and so then I push up too far to try to get.
that is
something out
another
of
thing
it.
I wanted to say to you. You want to like scrape the wall against the tank's like butt cheeks, because we don't have a Lucio to push onto the wall anymore. So it has to be like it has to be right there.
So what usually happens?
Continue. Go ahead.
I'll freeze them and then walk on them and then freeze them and then they die, and then I usually fail to retreat after that, and then I get
Have to
killed.
retreat after that.
Well,
Well,
if
like we got a pick, right? We're up, so like I go running into the other team and die. Like
No, I get that. I do
we need
that.
to be aggressive, but I need to be aggressive like with the team,
Just
right?
with Arisa's ass
Yeah.
in front of your face.
The problem is, right, if so that whole rotation, that shield rotation that we went through earlier, if those shields and Ifield are gone, it's really hard for the tanks to push. However, that being said, it doesn't excuse not pushing.
Right. Like if we get a pick at any point, we should push.
Yes. However,
We want to be more
this
aggressive.
this meta, it's also really easy to win fights when you're down. Really, really easy to win fights when you're down because of that. Continue.
So like, if we get a pick, do we want to try like starting just to like push and be super aggressive on them? Would that be good?
I think a philosophy that we should start having is if anybody on either team dies at all, we hard push.
I agree. That way we either die all at the same time or they all die at the same time.
So even if it would mean abandoning
And there's
our little corner,
staggering.
because this is what I'm anticipating happening. I field, we get aggro, we get a pick. Everybody is low
depends on
because
how
we've been
close they are.
working off the I field, and we go in at quarter health and die. Is what I'm
The-
anticipating.
Well,
right.
so we
Calling
shouldn't
it.
be. So we shouldn't be the
Maybe.
person that's down one, right? If we play our strategy right, we won't be the people that are down. And so when we're hard pushing, we're pushing on someone that's up one, and the whole immortality thing is kind of like already over, right?
So,
We won't have immortality field if we get a pick because we're going to be standing in it.
It's leading
think-
it to push when your health is still low because we've been working off of the immortality. That's what I'm worried about.
If we are holding this sort of, this sort of I field corner deal, they're going to be about here, which means that the tussle has already begun, and both teams are already abreasting each other, right? So what I mean is, at the very beginning, say Hanzo is sitting up here, peeks a wild angle, and just hits Zen out of nowhere, right? Just across this wild angle, manages to hit him. Then we'd use our shields and our wall to push on him. Does that make sense? So that we're not to the point yet where we've lost our cooldowns. It's still at very early stages of the fight.
So if someone does go down, do we wait for our cooldowns and then do that?
If someone on their team goes down, like later,
Oh, someone on our team goes down.
someone on our team goes down. So say the same thing happens to us. We're holding this corner. Hanzo hits some wild headshot from Narnia onto our backline.
And also,
Yeah.
sorry, you finish your point first.
Okay. So say that happens. In a vacuum, in a nutshell, we lose that fight every single time, 9 times out of 10, because we're down a person.
9
So,
times out of 10 isn't every
That
time.
is when we would take the whole team and push. If we have Blizzard, we use it. If we have Flux, we use it.
Wait, we commit ults.
Situation dependent.
Depends on who gets picked. Huh?
Yeah, I need to start teaching Twigs better shot calling.
Don't use
Um,
Blizzard if May gets picked.
yes. But like, that's our key to go. Alright. Have a go. Is when someone on either team dies. Unless we're in the mid brawl already and stuff is already happening. You don't
Why
need
wouldn't
the
we
hard
throw
rest
gas?
because stuff is already happening.
Oh, because we're already like, down or low on health and
yeah,
immortality field.
exactly.
Continue.
Which is what the point that Shani brought up earlier. If we do start a fight while our eye field is about to go down, like we hard push after it, everybody's gonna die because they're gonna push.
So we
over.
wait for cooldowns and then
Before
we
you-
aggress anyways. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, but you like the fight is happening, and with double shield fights are literally on top of each other. So there's really no hard aggressing at that point because either you win or you lose. Because the hard aggression has already happened, because that's what double shield does. Like literally, Orisa's shield will either be crossing each other or literally on top of each other. Usually they're crossing each other.
I'm trying to get them to cross. I try to get it to where they place theirs first, and I just pick on them.
It's usually the best way to go if they like launch their Orisa shield for whatever reason that might be.
I try.
Anyway.
So what I've been trying to do is aggressively use my fortify
Okay.
to take ground, and then they throw their Orisa shield, and I still have mine, and then I throw my Orisa shield on the other side of theirs.
Yeah, that works really well on attack. Very, very well. I definitely agree with that. For sure. It's a little awkward on defense, but it works in the mid fight. That's also another reason to say fortify is for. Is everybody good with that?
Yes. So classy.
Thank you. Any other burning questions before we go into game?
I'll play a couple.
Okay. If you have questions while we're playing, just at me. And by at me, I mean yell at me because I'll be in there with you. All right, you can stop.
I'm gonna-
You can stop the recording.
Yeet.